A craving is an urge, right? Ultimately, it's an urge. I have an urge to eat chocolate. I have an urge to go shopping. I have an urge to go gamble. Like it's a release of dopamine, right? And now, Dr. Dave, I'm going to get into your territory very humbly here. I don't know what I'm talking about in terms of, compared to you, but my very kind of basic way that I teach this is dopamine is sometimes called the craving hormone, right? It's that release that makes you go get the thing that
Right.
your body thinks it needs. And so the urge is it's that little release of dopamine that's saying, "Ooh, let's go get that," so that we can get more dopamine, right? It feels good. It feels so good to eat chocolate. It feels so good. And so when you're having that experience of an urge is really, it's a feeling in your body. And so what I encourage my clients to do, and we practice this together, and I can teach it really briefly here, but
Okay.
instead of thinking, just internally ask yourself this question: what are the physical sensations that I'm experiencing right now in my body as I'm feeling this urge? And it'll be different for everybody, right?
Mhm.
And I'll just explain kind of what urges feel like to me as an example. But I would ask myself that question. And by the way, if you're like with other people and you feel like you can't focus on this, you're having an urge to, drink when you said you weren't going to, or eat cake when you said you weren't going, just go to the bathroom. It takes 2 minutes, right? And you just go in the bathroom and you close your eyes and you just say, what does this feel like? And for me, urges often feel like a tightness in my chest, right? It feels like a closing almost of my throat. It feels kind of hot. I'll feel maybe a little bit tingly around my hairline. They have physical sensations. Now, our society, we are very much bifurcated, our head from our bodies. And so we are not we're not well versed in really connecting with our physical sensations. So this can take some practice. But the idea is that as you describe this to yourself, it feels like a fluttering in my chest. It feels like a tightness in my shoulders. As you're describing it, what's happening is you're actually taking yourself out of your head and into your body. And as you go through this, you will find, if you remember to rate it, like how strong is this urge before you do this process? And let's say you're at an 8 out of 10, really strong. I want the cake. By the time you're done describing this, going through this process with yourself privately for a minute or two, you'll find that 8 has dropped down significantly for most people. That helps you then to actually move through this